Now this is the continuation of the bond kind of valuation yield problem that we started in the previous video. Now, at this point we know the approximate yield to maturity of this bond is 12.58%. We calculated that in the previous video. Now what that means is that we now know that the yield is somewhere between 12 and 13%. And we're going to use what we call the pitchfork approach to value this bond. And what you need to know along with each possible yield now is the price of the bond. This is a 12% bond. If the yield to maturity on the bond were actually 12%, then that means that the price of the bond in the market would be exactly $1,000. Is the yield on this bond exactly 12%? No, because the price of the bond in the market is not $1,000. The other side is a 13% yield. What would be the price of the bond if the yield were 13%? Well, with this particular bond now, you'd have to use your bond pricing formula. 12% of $1,000 is $120. You multiply 120 times your PVIFA, N is equal to 15, I equal to 13%, plus $1,000 times your PVIF at 15 and 13%. Add all that together now, you'll find that the value, if the value of the bond were exactly 13%, the price of the bond in the market would be $935.39. Is the yield on this bond exactly 13%? And again, the answer is no, because the price in the market is not $935.39. Now at this point, we don't know what the yield on the bond is. But we do know the price of the bond in the market is what? $955. We're going to set up our pitchfork just as we did in the lectures now. On the upside of the prongs now reads like a number line. Small numbers on the left, large numbers on the right. 13% is A, 12% is B. Below those yields now are the value of the bonds. $1,000 would be the value of 12%. $955 is the value, whatever the yield is. And at 13%, the value of the bond would be $935.39. 1,000 minus 955 gives us X, which is 45. 1,000 minus 935.39 gives us Y, which is $64.61. When you interpolate whatever it is you're looking for now, in this case the yield is going to be equal to X over Y times A minus B plus B. X is 45, Y is 64.61, A minus B is 1, or 1%. And you're going to add that to 12%. So if you do this math here on the left, to the left of the plus sign, it's actually 0.6965%. And if you add that to 12%, you get the interpolated yield on the bond to be 12.6965%. If you wanted to calculate the yield using a calculator now, present value is where you put how much you pay for the bond today, $955, which is an outflow. It's a negative number. The payment, the periodic payment of interest, which in this case is $120. Future value is where you put your lump sum cash flow, $1,000. N is equal to the number of years, the number of payments in this case, which is 15. Have your calculator solve for I, you should get 12.6850%. Again, other than rounding errors now, you'll get exactly the same answer.